Hello, welcome to week 5 of the NBBL. I don't know if this video is going live. I am super late on getting 3 and 4 up. I don't know that I'll continue uploading this league, but we shall see. So we're going to search for our opponent. I'm not going to do a team builder. If I don't know if the video is going up or not, then it's not really worth doing a team builder. But I know that me and my opponent have the exact same differential, which is pretty cool. Or he's got one less differential, but we're both 2-2. And he's got a strong team. He's got 3 ghosts, so we're gonna try to take advantage of that. Use Moltres to the best of our ability. We'll see what happens. You know, we'll try to win. I've not put nearly as much time in my prep lately. Other games and life has been happening, so I have not been able to commit time. I miss uploading. I was actually getting like over 100 views on some of my videos, which I really appreciate. So anybody who watches these videos, just know I appreciate you watching, and I'm glad you find it at least a little bit interesting. Maybe you fall asleep to it, because I'm not the most crazy expressive person in the world, but I do appreciate it. And here's our opponent, and I over prepped hard for Skeledirge. He did not bring it. He did not bring a Doug Trio. He did not bring Lurantis or Pikachu. He brought Pulled Annihilate, no Slowking. So a lot of the things I was worried about, he didn't even bring. I did not bring Leafeon, Alcremie, Hands, or Cinderace. We have a lot of setup because I was hoping he wouldn't bring Ditto. He's brought Ditto to 3 out of 4 weeks. So I was kind of hoping it stayed on the bench this week, but apparently not. The Fortress being in slot 1 makes me think he might do Hazard lead shenanigans. But if he does, we have answers. I do have Grafai Eye is kind of a dedicated lead. It is Prankster. No Parting Shot this week, though, because of the Grimmsnarl, where U-turn instead. With knockoff Encore Toxic. So Toxic and Encore won't work on Grimmsnarl, but at least we can knock it and then U-turn. Yeah, Castleberry on Golden Go looked really good into 3 ghost types, just because we can do a ton of damage, if not knock him out in return. Let's see, spamming. He actually did not bring as many of his ghost resists as I would have expected, which Ditto doesn't really count. But he's got 3 fairy weeks. And I guess I really didn't bring any fairy coverage, huh? So it does lead Annihilate. I kind of anticipated that just because Landorus is a pretty obvious lead. So I don't think this ever knocks me out with anything. Banded Annihilate would blow me back, but would he be banded? I don't know. I could go for a Toxic. I don't really want to proc any of his... I don't want to proc Rage Fist, because I have a fun little Deoxys set in the back. So he's taking his time thinking about this. Obviously, he probably wanted the Defiant boost off of Landorus. I've been leading Landorus quite a bit, or bringing it out early, so that's a totally smart play. And Landorus is also pretty good into Fortress. So he does switch immediately. I hope it's not Grimmsnarl or Fortress. If it's anything else, we're looking pretty good. It is Fortress, so Toxic doesn't do anything. But I can at least either knock him off or U-turn. I think I will knock off, unless Gyro Ball KOs me. Because I kind of like this for his late game setup. Body Press from max defense and Gyro Ball both almost 2-hit KO me, but not quite. So I think I am pretty safe to just knock. We do have Blastoise as a spinner. So it does very little damage. He was Helmet, okay. I don't have a notepad up. Stealth Rock is fine. So what we can actually do here is Encore and then U-turn. So we are leftovers, which is nice. I will Encore now. So he's trapped in a Stealth Rock. This is going to make him very likely to switch. And so I can go for a U-turn and get switch initiative on him. So not super bad. I don't really like the fact that he brought Ditto, because I brought 3 Pokemon that can set up and no substitute against my better judgment, just trying to make a hard read, because I didn't really think it was worth. Ditto's exhausting to prep for, and almost every time I prep for it, it doesn't get brought, so I just thought this time, let's just pretend it doesn't exist. But our opponent really likes Ditto, so it may not even be Choice Scarf, which would be kind of weird, but he could definitely run some other Ditto set. It would actually be horrifying if he copied my Deoxys, because the plan with Deoxys is to proc weakness policy and sweep. So if he copies that, we're in a little bit of danger. So he does switch. And goes into Ditto. Okay, so he copies this. So he'll have Toxic Encore, Knockoff U-turn. So we know exactly what he's got. We know he's fast. So we go Landorus, let him knock me off, but then I take Ditto from him. We go Blastoise, get knocked off, get our AV knocked off, but then we get a spin. Obviously don't want that getting knocked off. I mean, Landorus seems okay. I do kind of want to just spin, though. Skeleturge that was the real reason I brought this. I know, obviously, he can U-turn into a ghost. Actually, he will definitely U-turn into a ghost. So I'm going to go Landorus. So he just showed all 4 of our moves on Grafaiai already, even though he just learned them anyway. So that's kind of funny. Knockoff U-turn or Toxic could come out here. All of them are not great. I could just Earthquake. If he does anything but U-turn, we get to take Ditto immediately. And obviously you could go into Rotom, and that's not amazing for me. But I'm kind of okay with it. I don't know if I want to make a prediction. I'm just going to Earthquake, though. If he does anything but U-turn, we're just going to take the Grafaiai, and he might be tempted to. I don't know why I even brought Spin this week. Since he has 3 ghosts. Like, he's never really going to let me spin, is he? Like, I guess Terra Water could do something. We're Terra Water on Blastoise. Okay, he does U-turn. Hopefully he doesn't go into Rotom, but I anticipate he would want to go into Rotom. He did outspeed me, but he outspeeds me naturally, so that's not a surprise. I could have went Moltres and set up, but then it's as easy for him as switching out and switching back in. So he does end up going Rotom. A little unfortunate. I didn't want to over-predict and let him get a free Toxic. So he does dodge the Earthquake, gets a free Pump or Volt or whatever he wants here. I don't have the best bring-ins for Rotom. Obviously AV Blastoise could come in, but it doesn't really do anything. So I think I might just go back into this, try to get a Toxic. Worst he does is then go into Ditto and knock me off. Obviously a Pump hurts. I mean, a defensive Pump is doing about half. So we can't really take 2, but we could knock him or confirm he's Scarfed, which is fine. I thought about Rotom and I was like, I'm just going to ignore it. It's bad. I ignored a lot of his things. He does miss the Pump. I'm sorry. That's really unfortunate. I think I might just U-turn here, but he might be inclined to Volt Switch or go for another Pump. So I might be better off just going for Knock again. I do want to Toxic it, but I don't think he lets me. I think Fortress or Ditto definitely come back in here. Or even Grimmsnarl. So I think a Knock's just the safest play. I kind of hope Ditto comes back in here. That would be nice. I guess I could have went for another Knock instead of a U-turn earlier, but you could have went into something like Annihilate, I suppose. I don't know. Knock might have been better. It's one of those plays that it's like, yeah, you could get rid of an item or get Switch Initiative. And I kind of wanted that Initiative because I have so many setup sweepers, but I guess as long as Ditto's around, I can't really set up. Although things like Golden Go, I should always lose to Moltres. I should have calced against my own Pokemon, I guess. But Deoxys is the real problem. Although it is technically walled. So Fortress does come back in. Knockoff will do very little damage. I could Terra to do a little bit more. This time I think I will U-turn directly into Blastoise and show him that I want to spin. See what his switch-in is. Could definitely go for Body Press. Volt Switch. Volt Switch would be a really good play. I could also go back into Landorus. Get some Switch Initiative with the U-turn. I don't know that this gets Ice Spinner. It might. I'm just going to go into Blastoise, see what he wants to do. He may not anticipate a spinning set of Blastoise. So he's Body Press. Holy, okay, it's a crit. I was like, wow, that's a lot of damage. Blastoise. I mean, we're almost max health, but we aren't Fizz Def. I mean, our Surf is two-shotting this pretty cleanly. That body press should not have done that much. Max defense body press is doing 120, so we definitely live another. I want to spin. I think Rotom is a good play. He might just bring in Annihilate or Dragapult here, and if he does, then, you know, he got me again. Does switch. And he goes into the Annihilate. Damn, man is playing me really well. So yeah, obviously can't spin on a Ghost type. I kind of just want to get damage on this, but... I mean, he's never knocking me out, but I'm never really doing anything to him. I could flip turn to maintain momentum. But then what, right? I think I will. I mean, I don't want that Rage Fist to be buffed at all, though. But I can't go into my Intimidator. So I think, unfortunately, my best play is to flip turn. Even though it buffs his potential Rage Fist, it lets us get something in safely. And that something is probably Moltres, which, unfortunately, he has Rocks up. So he does just go for a standard Rage Fist. We do live, and I think we do live one more set of Rocks. Flip turn does quite a bit. So, Deoxys into Annihilate. If he is base 100 Rage Fist, it is a roll, and with Rocks, it almost certainly knocks us out, but it definitely scares him. But I think I can just pretty safely go back into Grafaiai. He might expect the U-turn this time immediately. I did expect this thing to switch in a lot, but not as much as it has been switching. I mean, I could go for an Encore, lock it into Rage Fist, but if he goes Fortress, we lose so much if we click anything except U-turn. Knockoff is kind of the neutral play. I think Fortress is just so free here, though. But does he think that, too? I think I actually am going to go to U-turn. If he stays in, I can just go into Blastoise and sack it. He might be Scarfed. I kind of doubt it, because locking in a Rage Fist without it being boosted at all would be a little odd if I had went into Moltres. So, yeah, this might be a longer game than I anticipated. I just brought a bunch of setup punchers to hopefully break through, but I'm now terrified to set up because of Ditto. So, once again, did not really think it through. Which, you know, we're having a good time. Okay, we did get the call right this time. So he does go into the Fortress. So we do actually get Switch Initiative, which is super nice. And luckily the leftovers are kind of canceling out Rocks, at least a little bit. Obviously could go Landorus. I kind of like Golden Go here if it knocks him out. It's kind of a roll. Might have Earthquake. Could set up an Agility on Moltres. I mean, Deoxys probably takes 1,000,000 from Gyro Ball. Yeah, it takes quite a bit. And then I'm just terrified if I set up with Deoxys too early that it's just going to get beaten. So I kind of want to go Blastoise and actually go for a Surf. I want to save my sacks, but I actually do like that play quite a bit. Because if he goes back to Annihilate, we punish it with more damage. We are 5 health. That's terrifying. I'm not going to spin. I don't want to give him another free Annihilate switch for nothing. So we'll just go for a Surf, get a nice chunk of damage off. It shouldn't... Actually, we're in Torrent. So... we do a crazy amount of damage with the Surf. I could have Terra'd, but that would have been kind of insane. Pult comes in. And takes almost half, which is pretty wild. I mean, yeah, Surf, that's about standard Dragapult. Obviously, he could hit me here. I'm just going to go for a Dark Pulse. He can KO me if he wants. I mean, I can't switch, obviously. Rocks are up. I almost brought Boots and more defensive. So he has Shadow Ball, so he has Special. So So we know that Annihilate is Rage Fist. We know that Rotom is Pump. We know that Dragapult is Shadow Ball. I know that Fortress is Body Press. So we have not learned as much as I hope we would. He could just drop a Draco on Moltres' head, which wouldn't be appreciated. If he is Specs Dragapult, we can't set up Deoxys yet. I keep wanting to set up Deoxys, but we can't set it up yet. Obviously, if he Specs, he'll want to switch out against Grafaiai, so I could force a Draco. Kind of like that. See if we can't do just that. If he's not Draco, then he doesn't KO me. I could obviously just click Knock here again, or U-turn. I could also Encore him, and if he isn't Specs, then we lock him into Shadow Ball and he can't do anything to us. But I do kind of like the Knock. He does switch. Probably Fortress again. Yeah, this is just an endless game. I should have got Rocks up, I guess. So we'll Knock. And I will U-turn after that. I'll bring in Landorus. I'll try to get my own Rocks up so that I can at least punish his switches a little bit. Like he's been punishing mine. He might have like spikes on this, but since we've never Terra'd, we don't have to worry about a Toxic Spike. We didn't really have great Terras this week, I suppose. Terra, Fairy, Leafeon could have done something here, but it's walled by this Fortress, so, you know, it's not anything amazing. If he Gyro Balls here, it'll hurt a little bit. Otherwise, we should be pretty okay. So we'll go into our Landorus. I don't even know what my plan was here now that I'm looking at the team a little more closely. That's just Body Press. This shouldn't hurt that bad. I mean, 50 damage is still reasonable. I could definitely go Rotom again here. I am tempted to click U-turn. If I click U-turn, I don't have great switch-ins to a Body Press other than Golden Go, but I guess I might as well. I like the idea of Rocks, but if he stays in, then he just spins forever. And eventually he's a +6 speed Fortress, which isn't great for me. So he does switch. So we'll get a banded U-turn on whatever comes in. Probably Rotom. Ditto, okay. So he gets to know my set, which is totally fine. So he's just taking all of my pivot mons, unfortunately. And I did give him Rock Slide. If I didn't have Rock Slide on this, Moltres could actually come in here relatively for free. So this is hard, because he has coverage for my entire team. I could go Deoxys, force the U-turn, and then go into Golden Go. But he could definitely just Earthquake. I could just go back into Landorus. Whatever I go into, I'll just go back into Landorus. So I will go into Golden Go. Take baby Chip on the Rocks, which is not great with the Cassid Berry. And then I'm just going to switch straight back into Landorus. Take more Rocks. We're having a great time. Can never set up Deoxys because as soon as he steals Deoxys' boost, we're screwed. You know, that's great. I can only assume he's Scarfed. Like, there's no reason for me to think anything else, right? So he knows our full set now. Probably, maybe thinks we're banded. Maybe the Rocks are throwing him off a little bit. If he calced the damage we did to him, then he's probably more likely to think we're Rocks. Or banded. I don't really know how U-turn calcs. I'm bad at Ditto calcs, honestly. So we do switch. He might call this and just go for a U-turn anyway, which honestly makes perfect sense. We're just killing ourselves on the Rocks, so we're not doing great. Hopefully he Quakes. Hopefully I baited him into going for Earthquake. Okay, nice. So he does Quake. I can U-turn here. And he's forced to switch in probably Rotom. I could go for Stealth Rock, but then my switch into Rotom is nothing really. Although I suppose Rocks could be something. He's kept Grimmsnarl in the back this whole time now that I think about it. That's weird. I will just U-turn again. I just don't see the reason in locking myself in at this point. I know Rock's chip is nice, but losing the momentum of Landorus being locked in now that we've thrown away our only real sack, it's not great. So the Grimmsnarl set might be like a bulk up set or a nasty plot, the way he's holding it in the back, or maybe he wants to go for late game screens. It does switch. Back into Fortress. Nope, into the Rotom, which is totally fine with me. We can't proc weakness policy on our Moltres, unfortunately, because we didn't bring it. I considered it. Grafaiai can Toxic. It actually might be time to Terra Grafaiai, because Dark Terra is doing so much for us against everything except an offensive Grimmsnarl. Like a Dark Terra knockoff would actually do some kind of damage to this. Okay, he has leftovers, so at least we can confirm that. So I actually am going to go ahead and Terra, because the poison typing is only good if he has toxic spikes. Otherwise, just this extra damage is going to be really nice. And I guess normal's better into his 2 Ghost because it's still a resist, or still an immunity, not a resist. But I don't know. I just feel like we need to start chunking the Fortress, and eventually he's going to predict us to not attack. Maybe. Man, this Rotom's a headache. Rotom Fortress. I thought Skeledirge was going to make this core horrible, along with Slowking. So I finally do show my Terra. It's not like it helps us that much. It gives us 50% more damage on our knockoffs, and otherwise we're kind of the same mon, so could be better, could be worse. But at least we've done something. And this definitely gets him in range of a Golden Go Shadow Ball. So we do get him slightly below 50, maybe like 40%. So unless he's AV, which he's not because he showed rocks, then we're in good shape. So we'll just U-turn, do another 5 damage, and we will get Golden Go in, and we'll see if we can't do something with it. Because he doesn't have a good Shadow Ball switch in. His only Ghost switch in really is Grimmsnarl, and it obviously doesn't want to take a Make It Rain, so he's going to have to do some pivoting, fancy pivoting shenanigans. I don't think Earthquake from this, it does like half, I believe. Standard does like half. Oh, oops. I did Golden Go versus Golden Go. Fortress with Earthquake. Yeah, it's doing like half. We can take it. It makes our Castleberry kind of useless if he does Earthquake here, but he's been clicking Body Press really consistently, so I'm hoping he just clicks it again. He clicks Toxic Spike. Okay, so we got rid of our Poison type, and now we have to deal with T-Spikes, so... who does that really hurt? Only really hurts our setup Deoxys. So that's great. We love to see that. Shadow Ball should KO him here, I would imagine. So I guess I shouldn't have gotten rid of my poison typing. Maybe I clicked that a little too soon. I just assumed he would want Gyro Ball. I guess he doesn't need much else, right? Body Press Gyro Ball kind of hits everything, except Golden Go. He would want Earthquake for, so... Toxic Spikes weren't super likely, but I mean, I brought Grafaiai every week, but it is my only poison, so it does make sense to bring T-Spikes into my team. So that's a little annoying. But it really only bothers Deoxys, which probably was never going to set up and win anyway. He will switch. If he's Scarfed on the Grimmsnarl, then he got me good, I think, because I don't really have much of a choice. I could have... Man, I should have ran Sub. Because I'm really scared this thing's Scarf now. We do drop its Spadef. Are you Scarfed? Are you about to Scarf Crunch me? Does that even kill me? Should knock me out. So I'm just going to go for the Mega Rain. Oh yeah, he's Light Screen. But he's -1 Spadef, so we should be okay. And he lives. Wow, okay. So what I can actually do is Nasty Plot once, get my Spadef back up to +1, and then KO him with a Shadow Ball after that. If he crunches here, good play. I imagine he wants to set a Reflect, assuming I'm going to KO him. but I can't be sure. He might also Sucker Punch. Okay, he does set a Reflect. So it's just screens Grimmsnarl, and he just kept that in the back. So what is he setting up for? Obviously Annihilate and maybe Dragapult. That's his only setup possibility. I mean, I'm just going to go for a Shadow Ball here, I believe. I could get back up to full. He might have Sucker Punch. Okay, did not Sucker Punch, just went for an attack. Probably Crunch, Darkest Lariat, something like that. But we knocked him out. Probably going to let him handle the stats. I might as well go ahead and enter him. So Golden Go is at 1 something. Blastoise went 0-1. His Grimmsnarl went 0-1. And who got the knockout on Blastoise? Dragapult. Dragapult is currently 1 and something. Obviously, he could bring a lot of scary things in here. Brings in the Ditto, which might be really good news for me. Because my own Golden Go, I am neutral, right? I am at neutral. I'm at +1, actually. So, Shadow Ball from my own Golden Go with base like 48 health. I'm KOing him probably with that light. Yeah, definitely with that light screen up, and he is not KOing me back because of my Casted Berry. This is not what I wanted to use it on, but it's what I'm going to have to use it on. So I should live this at +1. It's not doing more than 70%. Okay, yeah, does a huge chunk. Gets this Videf drop, which is irrelevant. And then our Shadow Ball should KO him back because we are at +1. Okay, nice. So now Deoxys actually looks really good. So Golden Go goes 2 and something. And Ditto goes 0-1. If only he didn't get those T-Spikes up, our Deoxys would look insane into this endgame because Fortress is really weakened. Rotom is weakened. Grimmsnarl is gone. Dragapult comes in. Obviously, he can KO me here. Not much I can do about it. I'm just going to let Golden Go go because it loses to everything except Fortress at this point. I kind of hope that he specs. I'm really glad he did that with Ditto because that gives us some small chance to win with Deoxys. Although we do have to deal with screens, which is not fantastic. He clicks Thunderbolt. So he's got to be specs, right? Did 71. Probably does 71 regardless. Yeah, I mean, he's doing above that no matter what, but I really want to say that he is specs. And if he's not specs and he has to drop a Draco on my Landorus, then that gives me a really nice opportunity to get Deoxys in. So I think Deoxys really could win this whole thing. Because Rotom's not Scarfed. His Annihilate, if it's Scarfed, is going to make me very sad. But it would have to be Scarfed with a lot of investment. So I am just going to click U-turn here, hoping he goes into Rotom. He does go into Rotom. He is Specs Dragapult. Or Scarf, but I can only imagine he's Specs. Rotom comes in. He will take a big U-turn. Not that big. For some reason, I thought that would do more. Since we're banded. And our answers to Rotom have diminished greatly. I mean, I really need the weakness policy to proc on this, so I don't want to take extra chip from Rotom if I can help it. Thunderbolt is doing about half. I'm just going to go into it. We're just going to send it. We don't have to worry about setting up anymore because we did get rid of the Ditto. Ditto's gone. Grimmsnarl's gone. I mean, Fiery Wrath does a good chunk to this. We don't have much speed, though, so I will go for 1 agility first. This is all assuming he doesn't have that much special attack investment. If he's max special attack, he doesn't knock me out after rocks, so we're fine. As long as he's not Thunder. If he's Thunder, then he got me good. But we can only hope that he's not Thunder, or if he is, that he misses. Not that I want to hope for misses, but if you're running Thunder Rotom, then, you know, that's kind of crazy. If he's Discharged, we're a little sad, but we can rest, and we are faster than him. He is Volt Switch. I wish we were weakness policy so bad right now. But we do get a +1 from Berserk, so that's kind of cool. If he's Scarf Dragapult, I'll be shocked. So Fiery Wrath knocks that out when it comes back in, actually. And that actually did look to have at least a little bit of investment. Sorry, the whole screen is shaking. I just bonged my knee on my desk. You probably heard it too. What does he want to bring in on this even? I mean, Air Slash eats everything else alive, right? We might win with this here. It depends a lot on his investments, but we're looking decent. I could rest on something, but I'm really scared I'm going to rest and I get obliterated. Obviously, we destroy Dragapult. Depending on the Spadef on his Annihilate. I mean, Air Slash. Yeah, if he's max Spadef, Air Slash is still only doing like 30 to 36. He does go into the Pult. I mean, Fiery Wrath destroys this, right? Is he Scarf? Is he actually Scarf Pult? I mean, Thunderbolt will knock me out. If he's Scarf Pult, he got me good. Because I'm just enough speed to outspeed non-Scarf. We'll go for Fiery Wrath. He is Scarf Pult. Damn. That's tough. I lived? What? How did I live? I think that was a min roll. Min roll 136 on max special attack timid Pult. Oh, he had screens up. Oh, I forgot about the screens. Oh man, that accidentally worked out really well. That Moltres just blew Pult back anyway. Did I crit? I hope I didn't crit. If I crit, I'm really sorry. That's not good. I do think Moltres might just win now. I will rest if Annihilate comes in, just because I don't think it has anything that can like break me in one. Because rest isn't like Roost, it doesn't get rid of our flying typing. And if he CCs, that's good for me. I really hope that wasn't a crit. If that was a crit, I am so sorry. Because Pult would have cleaned, or mostly cleaned, from this position. It was never KOing Deoxys, but after Rocks, it was close. I will go for Rest. I mean, we get another Berserk boost out of it. If he CCs, he lowers his own Spadef. So yeah, Moltres was one of our pickups. It's kind of our replacement for Hydreigon as a dark type with a ground immunity. Obviously very one-dimensional Pokemon. It really only runs like Scarf or the set, but it does it really well. That's crazy that he lived. I mean, it had to have been a min roll if he's max special attack timid. And then I don't know how I KO'd him back. So we do go get a rest up. I am the correct berry, I hope. To get all the way back to full, and we are the correct berry, luckily. I don't really know what he can go for. Does have Drain Punch. Does do reasonable damage, and he gets some health back. His Reflect wears off, so he wasn't Light Clay, I suppose. I mean, +1 Air Slash. If he's max Spadef, which after that damage, I don't think he's max Spadef, because that's doing more than the calc is saying it would have. I almost ran Sucker Punch on this instead for the Dragapult, and I'm really glad I didn't. So he goes for the Ice Punch Freeze. We get a Berserk boost. We didn't get Frozen. I will go for a Fiery Wrath now. We're at +2, and Fiery Wrath can't miss. So I do think we actually get to win this game. +4. And there's still absolutely no guarantee that you're ever seeing this. I chose not to edit this one at all, because it would be easier for me to upload, but obviously it's going to look really scummy if I upload a week 5 win after not uploading weeks 3 and 4 losses. It's just busy, you know. I could not upload them. I did not have time to edit because I did do some things that need to be cut out, and I don't want to look like I'm skipping battles that I'm losing. That would be super bad. So yeah, I probably will just upload all 3 at once. I'll find time to edit and get all of them up. It looks like you'll get a triple special video, get all caught up in 1 week. But we'll see if that gets any views at all, because, you know, after not uploading for a couple weeks, I don't even know that anything will get views again. But we'll see, you know. All he has left at this point is Rotom and Fortress, and both of them should get easily blasted by a Fiery Wrath. So we should be good. I think Moltres just cleaned the game, honestly. Thanks to a very low roll from Dragapult. I think I can do the calc real quick. I think we were on like 145. And if this is Spadef Rotom, it might actually live, which is kind of wild. Oh no, bro. I was calcing Light Screen against Dragapult. I had Light Screen up this whole time. Oh, I'm so stupid. I hate the Light Screen in the calc. So this should KO 100% of the time. Yeah, okay. I was like, why am I so weak? But I had the Light Screen in, so I did KO Pult without a crit. So we're fine there. Looking at this Moltres into Dragapult with Thunderbolt. It's looking like... Actually, the roll is well in my favor. He just happened to get the min roll. It looks like only 4 of 16, so he had a 25% chance to knock me out with that Thunderbolt, disregarding like a crit. So I think we're okay. I think it wasn't as unlucky for him as I thought it was. At first I was like, oh, he got the one roll that doesn't kill me, but obviously we were in good shape. Moltres went crazy. Agility Moltres, as soon as he sacked the 2 counters, we were able to set up and win. So I'm super happy. That game could have easily gone differently if Ditto just sat in the back, because he had a plethora of things that could have destroyed Golden Go. So GG's to my opponent. That was a 4-0, but it was very close. It was much closer than 4-0 would suggest. And if you see this, thanks for watching. I'm glad you're still around after I took a hiatus. And I will see you, if I upload this, I'll probably upload week 6 and get back on a regular uploading schedule. And I'll see you next week.